I didn't argue when my children demanded I choose between them. I just handed them the flash drive their mother left behind. My name's Harold. I'm 71 years old, a retired high school principal, and for most of my life, I thought the hardest thing a father could ever do was bury his wife. Turns out the second hardest thing is watching your own children fight over what she left behind. When my wife Marlene passed away last winter, she left behind more than just a house and savings. She left behind a legacy, the home we built together over 47 years, the garden she loved, the laughter that once filled the halls. But to my two children, Lisa and Michael, all they saw was dollar signs. It started small. Lisa, my eldest, has always been organized to a fault, spreadsheets for everything, even for family dinners. Michael, on the other hand, runs on charm and chaos. The kind of man who'd promise to fix your fence and somehow end up selling you a used car instead. 2 weeks after the funeral, we sat at my dining table, the same one where Marlene used to serve her famous pot roast, and the first cracks appeared. Lisa placed a folder in front of me. "Dad, you can't manage this house alone. You should sell it. Move into something smaller. Mike and I can help split the proceeds fairly." Mike leaned back in his chair with that grin that used to get him out of trouble as a teenager. "Or," he said, "we rent it out. I can handle the tenants, Dad keeps the property, and we all make money. Win-win." The tension was immediate. 2 children, 2 plans, both wrapped in smiles that didn't reach their eyes. I tried to calm them, but they were already arguing. By the time the coffee turned cold, they weren't talking about helping me anymore. They were talking about who deserved what. I thought time would heal it. I was wrong. A month later, Lisa brought a lawyer to Sunday dinner, without warning. She said it was just to clarify the estate. Mike showed up late, saw the briefcase on the table, and exploded. My home became a courtroom that night, and I, the unwilling judge. I remember standing in the kitchen afterward, staring at the 2 of them screaming in the next room. I could almost hear Marlene's voice saying, asterisk, "They need to learn, Harold, but not through anger." Asterisk. That's when I decided I'd teach them in my own way. See, before she passed, Marlene had left a letter with our family lawyer, Richard. She told me not to open it unless the kids forgot what family meant. So I called Richard that week and told him it was time. When I met him at his office, he smiled like he'd been expecting the call. He slid a small silver flash drive across the desk. "Your wife was 1 step ahead of everyone, Harold," he said. "She recorded something for this moment." That night I sat alone in the study, plugged the flash drive into my computer, and there she was. Marlene in her favorite blue sweater, smiling like she always did before teasing me. She spoke softly. "If you're watching this, Harold, it means the kids forgot the difference between love and ownership. So I'm leaving the final choice to you, not for money, but for meaning. You'll know what to do." And I did. 2 weeks later, I invited Lisa and Mike back home, told them we'd finalize everything that night. They came armed, Lisa with papers, Mike with a new business pitch about flipping the house for profit. I listened quietly while they argued, each thinking I was on their side. When they were out of breath, I stood and said, "All right then. I've made my decision." They froze. I took out a small box and set it on the table. "Before your mother died, she left this flash drive with our lawyer. It holds her last words on this matter, Lisa rolled her eyes. Dad, we don't need theatrics, but I pressed play anyway. The room fell silent as Marlene's voice filled the air. My darlings, she began, if you're watching this, you're probably fighting. Please stop. This home isn't made of wood and nails, it's made of memories. If you sell it for greed, you sell the very love that raised you. She paused. Then her voice grew firm. That's why I've left everything in Harold's hands. He alone will decide what's fair, and if either of you puts money above family, your share will go to charity instead. You could hear the air leave the room. Lisa's face went pale. Mike muttered a curse under his breath. I simply closed the laptop and said, well, that settles that. Lisa was the first to speak. Dad, you can't be serious. But I told them both that night. The house stays in the family. Lisa, you'll handle the upkeep, since you love organization so much. Mike, you'll handle the garden and repairs. You'll both visit every Sunday, whether you like each other or not. That's the deal. They protested, of course. But then I added the part that made them both quiet. If you can't honor this arrangement for 1 year, I'll sell the house, and every cent will go to the Veterans Fund in your mother's name. For once, neither of them had a comeback. Over the next months, something remarkable happened. Lisa started coming over on weekends to mow the lawn with Mike, awkwardly at first, then with laughter. Mike fixed the porch swing she broke as a kid, and every Sunday they sat beside me at dinner, still arguing, still different, but together. By Christmas, I saw them smiling at each other again without forcing it. Marlene would have been proud. Last week I sat on that porch watching the sunset paint the house gold when Lisa brought me a new flash drive. She said, Dad, it's all the old family videos. Mom's voice, your retirement party, even that camping trip where Mike fell in the lake. Mike groaned and we all laughed. For a moment I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Peace. You see, I never wanted to choose between my children. I just wanted them to remember that family isn't about who wins. It's about who stays. And sometimes you don't need to raise your voice to teach that lesson. All you need is a quiet flash drive and a wife who saw everything coming. But funny thing about flash drives, they don't just hold memories. Asterisk, sometimes they hold secrets, and the next one I found didn't belong to me at all. Asterisk,